This is Ray Wright, your SoCal Realtor, and I'm here to give you a little bit of information of what happened last year in the real estate market, what's happening this year in the real estate market, what happened to me all year long, and also what is the biggest story facing us in the news today. Okay, let's get on. What happened last year in 2020? Well, we all know the pandemic kept us all in our houses forever. In fact, I think we're on day 300. That's right. Okay, so back in March, when we shut down originally, the market came to a screeching halt. And it was okay because, you know what, for 3 weeks, we're just going to slow the spread. Everything's going to be fine. So at that point, as you may know, I've been teaching Sunday school for about 22 years. I was doing story time at the Harvest bookstore for the little kids, the toddlers and the 5, 6, 7-year-olds. And so I thought, I'll just go ahead, since I can't go to church and teach Sunday school, since I can't go to do story time, I'll go ahead and film it, videotape it, and I'll shoot it out to everybody so the kids can watch story time and my Sunday school kids can watch the lesson. I didn't realize how much work that was. In fact, I spent a lot of time every week painstakingly trying to make these videos, just 2 a week, but still make these videos interesting and make them engaging. And that took up a lot of time. And with the pandemic and also with the videos twice a week, I kind of fell off the wagon there. And I'm like, I haven't been doing any real estate videos. Then after 3 weeks, it kept going and kept going and kept going. Thankfully, we're back in church now. I'm back in front of my class, still doing story time on Tuesdays via video, but at least I'm back in the class doing my Sunday school lessons. So also, in April, I hit the ground in the living room and couldn't get up for 2 days because of a back issue, a nerve issue in my back that goes all the way down my leg, which is causing pain on a regular basis. So that kind of put a halt to some of my work as well. But the good news is, after the first few months of the pandemic, 2020 started shaping up to be a great real estate year. In fact, if you contacted me to sell your house in 2020, you made out because your house probably sat on the market for maybe 10 days. You probably had multiple offers, and you definitely sold it for more money than you listed it for. And if you came to me to help me find a house for you to buy, well, then you quite possibly got a great deal because interest rates were so low. So what is actually happening now in 2021? 2020 actually ended the year as a pretty good real estate year, at least for me. But what's happening in 2021? Well, let's talk about it. First of all, 2021 opens with a new record low of mortgage rates. That's right, mortgage rates are low. 30-year mortgage rates hit an all-time low of 2.65% this week, according to data from Freddie Mac released yesterday. 2.65% this week. Okay, I'm going to tell you, when I first got in the business, and back in 1993, I was doing mortgage loans, and I would jump up and down excited when interest rates got down to 7.5%. I mean, they were hovering around 8%. I remember helping my parents refinance their interest rate. They were at a 13.9% interest rate. Today, under 3% interest rates are crazy low. In fact, I thought last year's interest rates hovering around 3% was really low. Now they're stupid low. It's just stupid low. I remember my Toyota Camry, when I bought my Toyota Camry in 2006, it's gone now. I donated it to Cars for Kids in December. Gonna miss that car. But when I first bought it in 2006, I had an interest rate of 3.9% for a car. And now you can buy a house for under 3% interest rate. That is crazy. Now, not only if the interest rates are super low, that means for you buyers, your buying power is really, really strong. It's so cheap to get loans now. It's so cheap to borrow money. Now, let's look at listings, though. Okay, on the other side for sellers, active listings hit a historic new low throughout the United States in December. Less than 700,000. That is the national inventory. The national inventory dropped almost 40% year over year in December. 40%. That's a huge decrease. Partly because a lot of people weren't sure about the pandemic. They weren't sure about selling their house. And so they sat on the sidelines waiting. And so we saw last year, and still right now, this many houses for sale and this many buyers because of the low interest rates. That's creating a buying frenzy. So if you're a buyer, you've probably made multiple offers on multiple properties. You've made a property on this property. You've made an offer on this property, this property, this property, possibly even getting beaten out by other buyers because there's so many buyers out there right now because interest rates are so low. If you're a seller, you're probably putting your house on the market and boom, before you go to bed that night, it's sold. Maybe even before they put the sign out in front. Let's look and see what's happening around the properties in certain areas, just to kind of give you an idea. My old hometown of Altaloma, where I used to ride my horse, Cora, up in the hills. Good times. Anyway, Altaloma saw a 22% year-over-year median sales price increase. The median sales price went up 22%. And the average total days on market, 9. 9 days. That's crazy. I remember back in the day when properties would stay in the market for 30, 60, 90, 120 days, 5 months, 6 months. The seller would have to do price decrease, price improvement, price improvement. And I remember back in the 90s where sellers were actually paying the buyers money, offering new roofs, offering tons of repairs, and buyers were just gobbling it all up. Now it's a totally different prospect for the seller. Also, in my old hometown of Upland, let's take a look. Upland, year over year, median sales price is up 16%. Average days on market, 14 days. Riverside, we saw 13% increase year over year in the median sales price. And the average days, total days on market, 9 days. So the market is hot right now for both sellers and for buyers. It's a kind of an unusual sweet spot right there. Let's go on to the top story of the year so far, and I will share it to you today. Yes, the top story is Xena, Warrior Princess, and Hercules have a falling out. That's right. Yes. In fact, Hercules, Kevin Sorbo, Hercules, Legendary Journeys. If you grew up in the 80s and 90s and watched that show, like my kids did, and of course, I had to watch them too because my kids were watching it. Anyway, Kevin Sorbo talking about the protests and talking about some of the people that went in and rioted and actually got into the Capitol, which is absolutely wrong. They should never have done that, and I condemn that 100%. But he did say on Twitter that, quote, "They don't look like patriots to me." I agree. They didn't look like patriots to me either. Well, Xena, Warrior Princess, Lucy Lawless said, "No, Peanut," quote, quote, "No, Peanut, they are not patriots. They're your flying monkeys, homegrown terrorists, QAnon actors." And she went on, and so they're arguing. So I wanted to just make sure that all of us stand in solidarity to try to get Xena, the Warrior Princess, and Hercules from the Legendary Journeys to come together in solidarity, shake hands, hug, just be friends again. Well, that's it for today, but I wanted to at least get back in touch with you, let you know where I've been, let you know what's going on, and promise to you that we'll be talking about real estate a lot this year because the real estate market is hot. So again, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow, hit the like, hit the bell, whatever. Just show me some love so I know you're out there. And if you want to know how the real estate market locally will affect you personally, shoot me a message, shoot me a text, an email, comment below, and I'll get right back to you. All right? I'm Ray Wright, your SoCal Realtor, and I am here to help.